What can I do to help me to discern my vocation?
There are a number of steps that you can take and things that you can do to help you in your discernment. The first of all is that you want to pray. Pray every day. And as you pray, you want to ask God, God, what is it that you want of me? What is it you'd like me to do? I think it's really important to simply ask God where it is and how it is that God would like you to serve God and God's people. The second step that you can take is to not pray alone, but to look for someone who can companion you or accompany you on your spiritual journey. Some would refer to this as a spiritual director, a spiritual guide, or a spiritual companion. It could be a priest, a brother, a sister, a deacon, or even a committed layperson who knows the spiritual journey well and is trained to walk with others on that journey. It's really important sometimes to have someone else who can listen to what God is telling you in your prayer as a way of directing you to respond to God's call. Another very important step you might want to take in your discernment is to consider getting involved in your local parish or in some volunteer programs in your local community. If you feel God may be calling you to a life of service or being involved in helping to build God's kingdom in different ways, it might be very good to get some hands-on experience of seeing what that's like. So call your local parish, call a volunteer program in the area, perhaps a soup kitchen or a shelter. Give it a try and see how that feels, and see if you enjoy that life of service. Another very important step that you can take is to consider contacting the vocation office for your local diocese or for a religious community in your area. I'm very sure that the vocation director there at the diocese or in any community would be very happy to talk to you and help you also to pray and to listen to what God is telling you in your life, but also to give you some very concrete direction in terms of where it is that God might be leading you. And finally, once you've made that contact with a vocation director or a religious community, it's important not just to consider this a phone call or an email, but to actually think about going to visit a religious community, perhaps schedule a visit to a seminary. Actually go and see what it's like, as Jesus has invited his disciples to come and see. It occurs to me that when you prepare for college, you often go to visit various campuses to get a feel for what they're like. So you'd probably want to do the same, whether it's joining a diocesan seminary or a religious community. And all of this, I think it's very important to realize that discernment is never just a one-time thing. You may feel that you've discerned your call to be a priest, a brother, a religious, or perhaps a diocesan priest, but then you'll spend the rest of your life discerning the many choices you'll make every day to be the best, most faithful, and effective priest, brother, or whatever it is that God ultimately calls you to be. Those are some steps you can take to help you in your discernment.